Alright guys, well, we're here in Phoenix, or Tolleson, or however they call it. Before we pick up the fifth wheel, we're going to go re-up on some stuff, so I'm going to fill up my tank. So we're obviously filling it up right now, and then after that, I got to get some ice and dump out the old water. So it's actually pretty cold. I'm going to go get a bag of ice and dump it in here so I can keep it going. I've already showered, so I'm thinking I'm probably going to go back to Las Vegas, shower up, wash some clothes, and then head out from there. But as of now, re-up on ice, get some fuel, and then go and buy some Hot Shot Secret, some EDT stuff, some everyday treatment or whatever they call it. And then from there, do I need anything? No. Maybe buy some water, but I don't know. Maybe grab a quick bite. They got a Carl's Jr. on the Subway out here, but not really craving that, to be honest. But overall, I think that's going to be the game plan. We're going to go pick up, re-up all this, and then head back. Hopefully, today's Monday afternoon. We're 1 o'clock, so hopefully we're up in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho area by Wednesday morning, or at least Tuesday night. You know what I mean, give or take. That kind of just depends on me, I guess. But yeah, it's currently 90 degrees outside. It doesn't have that burn feel to it, at least not yet. But I don't know. I'm trying to keep my temperatures down on my coolant and oil. I did just do an oil change. We're gonna have to go inside and get a receipt. All right. Well, look at that. 48 bucks. We were doing, just by the truck by itself, we were pushing about almost 17 miles to the gallon, almost. But then again, we got hills and all that, so we just changed the oil on it. So we're 1,293 miles into the oil. Actually, let me throw this away right now that I'm here. Yeah, so I got to get a receipt. So right now, what I'm mainly focused on is trying to keep my oil temperature down. Don't mind all this stuff, it's all crazy, but coolant 190. As long as these two are together, my trans temperature, being that I have an ice and operating temperature, is like 168 to 184. Anything past those numbers, I start to get a little worried. So 204 is decent. Eventually it'll come down to like 199 maybe. Again, it's 91 degrees, so we'll see how this pans out. But anyways, let me go get the fuel receipt. I'm gonna close down the hood here in a sec once I'm in, and then we'll go pick up the fifth wheel. Mannheim's just down the road, literally like 2 minutes down the road. So anyways, I'll check in with you guys here in a sec. All right, update. So I'm here at the Mannheim, and apparently there's two entrances. One's meant for the cars, the other one's meant for the fifth wheels. I'm obviously on the wrong side here, and so I have to get back on 83rd, swing it out to, what is it, Van Heusen Road or something like that, and then I'm going to go on the back side, which is basically the opposite of this location, so it's over there. So I mean, no big deal, it is what it is. I guess you kind of learn. So yeah, if you guys are ever out here in the Tolleson, Phoenix, Arizona, Mannheim, and you're picking up a fifth wheel, yeah, you have to come in through the back gate, apparently, is what they're saying, not the actual front gate, or the regular gate, which is for the cars. So anyways, let's drive out there real quick, and then there should be a back gate of some sort, is what the gentleman told me here. So we'll get it dialed in, and away we go. I'll keep you guys updated. Alright fellas, so this handlebar is what's in control of the jaws on the fifth wheel plate. Usually when I back up, they're usually open, so once I back up, it'll basically do that, right? And that pretty much is your telltale sign that the jaws should have wrapped around the kingpin. I'm gonna secure it because I'm that confident. I know it's pretty much a done deal. So just to put it in there, it's kind of hard to do with one hand, but give me a second, guys, and I'll show you more or less what I'm talking about. So you guys see if I can zoom in. So you can see the tip of my finger, hopefully. Okay, that bottom piece, that's the kingpin, right? These two pieces right there that are wrapped around it, those are your jaws on the fifth wheel. That whole shank from top to bottom there, that's your kingpin on the trailer. As long as those two are coupled together, you're fine. You can even do a tug test just to play it safe. Once you're pretty much hooked on, it's pretty much a done deal. You know, you got to get the pigtail out. Let me see if I can zoom out, guys. I'm sorry. And it's hard to do with one hand. Anyways, so this one's got its own cord. This is super important. This is your trailer breakaway cable. I usually just have one here naturally, but in this case I'm just going to use its own to my advantage, right? So in the event, fingers crossing, but if that comes undone and it throws it back, that pin right there will come undone from the box, and it'll activate the brakes on the trailer, so they get applied so it doesn't roll back immediately too far from you. So that's always a plus of hauling these newer units. The older ones, well, you kind of have to gamble it there, but give me a second, guys. It's just doing it with one hand is kind of hard. So this piece right there has to latch on. You can't see it, but you'll definitely feel it with your finger. So now that it's latched on, let's go ahead and turn on our lights. But this is a 2022 Grand Design 33 RLS, I think is what they call it. I think it doesn't look like it's been used. I opened it up. So now that I'm pretty much hooked on, I can raise it up. I don't recommend giving it a tug test when you have it on the ground. You run the risk. I learned this through Paul. You run the risk of bending the legs. Guys, don't do that. You bend the legs, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. And you can already see it's under tension. I mean, it has my truck squatted down now. So she's a heavy one. I think this thing's got the curb weight of like 10,000 pounds, which is really not bad for a 35 plus 6-inch fifth wheel. Like I said, exterior height is 12 feet 6 inches high. We'll check it out here in a sec. We'll just I just got to get the landing gear up, so I'll check in with you guys here in a sec. Moment of truth. Let's check this one inside. This one's actually pretty nice. All right, again, 2022 Grand Design 33 RLS. This one's coming out of Phoenix. Actually, honestly, for first impression, it's pretty clean for being a 2022. I don't know if they lived in it or not. But you know, if so, you got to kind of anticipate them, you know, being used or whatever. But overall, it does not look bad. I mean, you got your TV right there in the living room, so I would imagine all this slides out and you got ample amount of room. Got over the range microwave. You got your oven, then you got your, on the bottom there, your or not oven, I'm sorry, your stove top and your oven on the bottom there. This thing's sturdy, guys. That's sturdy. Coffee station. And you have your, oh, ceiling. Why are we, okay, I see. So this thing, I mean, this is fresh. I mean, look at the amount of voltage that it's getting from the solar panel, from Furrion or whatever they call it. I'm guessing that probably came with the factory order or whatever as far as the solar panels. But yeah, you got your bathroom in there, stand-up shower. Guys, before you transport these, always make sure these latches, because if this latch is not on, if you're moving and coasting around and moving into, like, you know, different cities and you get exposed to heavy traffic and you have to, you know, slam your brakes, you run the risk of this breaking. So always keep that in mind. Make sure everything's closed, but everything looks fine. I mean, again, for being a 2022, guys, keep that in mind. It's 3 years old and it's, I mean, it looks like it's barely even used. You got a bed in here, no TV. So we got the, oh man, I'm gonna have to crawl up in there and close it. Oh, you definitely got power, so that's always a plus. I'd imagine the slides have power. I'm not gonna open up the slides, guys. I'm just trying to find something that's obvious so I can jot down and take pictures of, but honestly, this thing doesn't even look like it's been used. Again, same scenario here. You gotta make sure this thing's buttoned up because there's a door within that wall, and if you don't have it tied down, like I said, it's gonna be going back and forth, and you're just gonna risk damaging it up and whatever. And yeah, you definitely don't want that. So again, I'm gonna take pictures, guys. I think that pretty much seals the deal for this RV. So we're gonna start heading up. I don't know, I'm thinking maybe probably go down to Las Vegas, or up to Las Vegas again, and maybe spending the night, at least getting a couple hours in of sleep, and then wash some clothes and head out there. So yeah, lights work. Oh, it's even got a backup camera. Look at that. Damn. Yeah, this fifth wheel is actually really nice. I like it. So anyways, I'm gonna run my inspection real quick, guys, and then we're gonna head out. I'll check in with you guys here in a sec. Alright guys, well, I went back to Vegas, got my 10 hours off, and then I started driving into Salt Lake City, and I ended up stopping in Deer Lodge, Montana, and then I took off, and here we are now. We're about an hour and a half away from drop off. So I wanted to stop by while I get fuel. I wanted to double, triple check, make sure everything was good. Nothing was falling apart, or something that was gonna yell, something coming apart or whatever. Sorry, my freaking head's going 100 miles an hour. The winds right now are not really in my favor. I went from 13 miles to the gallon pulling this trailer to about 10. That's still intact. To about 10 miles to the gallon, almost 11, I'd say. But with the winds being basically coming towards me, I'm fighting it for sure. So that's what it is. Let's put this thing, actually, this folds like that, and this goes up in here. So like I said, I'm at the final stretch here in Montana. I'm like an hour and a half, maybe 2, depending on the winds, before I get up there. So I just want to make sure and double, triple check that everything's fine. All right, oh, there we go. Tires look good. The lights obviously working. Hopefully you guys can hear me. With the wind being the way it is, it kind of sucks. So anyways, as I said, I'm doing about 10.8 miles to the gallon. That was my last fill up, $90 at $3.44 a gallon here in Montana. Got my hood popped here just to let the heat come out. Yeah, 10.4 is what I'm averaging as of right now, and that's because I've entered Montana with all the hills and the crosswinds. But before that, I was doing about if I remember right, it was like 13 miles to the gallon, believe it or not. Yeah, 13 miles to the gallon on flat ground with a little bit of wind. And this thing weighs about 10,500 pounds as far as the curb weight goes, and it's like 35 feet long and 12 feet 6 inches on height. So it ain't too terrible, but I mean, just like anything, you're always gonna have some sort of drag wind. Luckily for me, the cap's kind of more on the aerodynamic side instead of a flat front cap. Otherwise, I'm really fighting for it. So anyways, I just wanted to check in with you guys. Like I said, I'm only an hour away from there, and from there we're pretty much done for the day. And I got to come back into Missoula, Montana again to pick up another trailer. That's going to be an enclosed. I don't know if that's custom made or if they're custom ordered or not. And then after that one, we're picking up another one out of Ogden, Utah. So we're pretty much busy day in and day out. So anyways, I just thought I'd showcase this to you guys real quick. Let's get back on the road. Alright guys, well, we dropped off the fifth wheel down at Northwest Rides. That one's going to be posted up for sale here pretty soon. Again, it's a 2022 Grand Design 337 RLS, if I remembered right. So overall, I think I spent deadheading from, where was it? From Washington down to Phoenix. I think I spent about 220-ish, 30-ish, 40-ish bucks. Just deadhead miles, right? Because my truck gets about 18 miles to the gallon when it's empty. Coming back up here, that's when I started getting this, the spending started to really happen, and I think I spent easily, I would say maybe 300 and, no, I'd say like 400 bucks, give or take. So I'm in this trip about $600-ish. That is food and fuel and all that stuff. So anyways, so overall, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, my cost of operations per month, being the insurance of the truck, of the commercial insurance, and then the truck payment, and then all the miscellaneous stuff like central dispatch and all that, I'm not past, or maybe just right on the $1,500 a month cost of operations, believe it or not, because I've had my truck for a little while, so I'm not after the new stuff. That's the reason I don't want to buy a new truck. But anyways, so the current rate per mile, that's as of 2025 in April, for this one, kind of ranges between $2 a mile to $1.60, 70 a mile on the low end. Kind of depends on what it is, where it's coming from, and where it's going and all that stuff. So it's not a lot of money, I get it. Some people, some of you guys might just kind of frown on it, and that's fine. I understand. It's not like holy moly money, but keep in mind, it's not about how much you can make, it's also how much you can save. When you have a $1,300 truck payment and then you have another $1,200 insurance payment, well, of course you're going to complain about that rate. But when you don't, when you're living off of a really, really low payment, really like almost non-existent basically, and all you got to worry about is the truck or the insurance payment, well, then that that puts you in position where you can just kind of take it easy on what you're hauling. So this one, in my opinion, I think it paid pretty good, being that, it wasn't heavy, and I still managed to pull 13 miles to the gallon on average, up until we got to the Montana, Idaho area. Then with the winds and all that, we were dropping down to about 10 miles to the gallon. So it is what it is, guys. I mean, it takes money to make money. That's what you guys got to understand. So anyways, I gotta grab something to eat because I am hungry, and I gotta go get a shower. And right now I'm gonna head, after I'm gonna get back on I-90, head east towards Missoula, Montana. I gotta pick up another trailer, come back, drop it off, take the truck in for service real quick, for oil and fuel, filter change and all that stuff, and then I'm gonna head back down to Ogden, Utah. So I'm gonna be running around for a little bit. So anyways, that wraps up the video, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys have any comment, as far as any questions that you guys would like to know, comment down below. I'll be on the lookout. Subscribe to the channel if you guys find this helpful. And with that being said, may the Lord bless you, and I will catch you on the next one.